and my name is Nicholas Mighty. I'm really excited that you're watching this video. I hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that will help you to build a rock solid digital business, right? So whether you're doing, digital marketing, or you're running your own business, whether e-commerce, whatever it might be, or you're hoping to actually start one, these tips will help you to stay on top and to do your very best. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe right now. On this channel, I produce great content on how you can be the very best version of yourself and also help you to grow your business. Tips on how you can grow a great digital business and how you can stand out, right? If you're running a business or you've been hoping to run a digital business, you're going to find these tips really amazing and really essential. Right, because when it comes to running the digital business, a lot of us, because we've gotten the thinking from the people that we've had, we think, well, it's one of those things where I work when I want, I work when I wake up, and you fall into that trap, and then later on you blame things on, this is not working, I tried this, I tried that. You're always trying. And a lot of times you wake up to the sad reality that you've actually never done anything, because you've been trying things. And I always tell myself that I will not try, I will do these things, right? So if I talk about, creating an ad, I'll create the best copy that I know how to create, and I'll find out everything that I can do to create the best that I can. So a lot of times, because we've heard from different people, from the gurus out there, we tend to take things for granted. This digital business, we sometimes call it a side hustle, but a side hustle is quite different. A side hustle is something that earns you a few extra bucks. It may not be your main source of income, right? So if you're starting a business as a side hustle, that's fine, but remember that that's going to be your goal. It's going to be to bring you a few extra bucks. But if you start your digital business, your online business, to really grow an empire and to serve, millions and billions of people out there, then you're going to really have to do some things really right. Right. So back to the tips. Our tip number 1 is remember it's a business. Hey, this is really difficult for most people to remember, and most people have never actually considered, online business as a real business, right? So what are you supposed to do for a real business? You're supposed to have capital, investment, right? You're supposed to have some form of investment. And sometimes, because it has an easier point of entry, we tend to think, well, I'll just jump in, with $50, and then I will get all the free tools, and I will run, get free leads and everything. We're thinking of free. There are cases where you will use things for free, but I'll tell you what, if you don't invest in it, most times it is very likely that you will not value that business. And I'll tell you, this is so true, because a lot of times we value, as human beings, we value very much, in fact, so dearly, the things that we have paid for. And then the things that are actually free are more valuable sometimes. Let's say your mind, your body, it was given to you free, your family free, and then we take them for granted. But the things that we've paid for, that new Tesla that you just bought, a lot of times you treat it as your everything, right? You treat it as the most valuable thing that you ever have or you've ever had. So many times, if we don't really invest into something, unconsciously, we don't treat it with the value it deserves. So remember, an online business is a real business. It's a living and breathing organism. So it lives or it dies. So if you don't feed it, if you don't, do what's required, then you're going to end up wasting a lot of time. And just like I mentioned, a lot of people think, well, this is a side hustle, that's my side hustle. It's fine if you think it's a side hustle, but unconsciously don't expect so much from a side hustle, right? So it's very, very important to remember that your business is a real business, mean business. Don't wake up when you want. Hey, wake up, make a plan, wake up at the right time, do things on time, reply to those emails on time, be on time, do things, the way they are meant to be done, like a business is run, right? Have an accountant or do some accounting, little bit of accounting, get some little bit of accounting knowledge so you know how to actually, keep your books really well. And if you can't afford, then hire somebody to do them for you. Then run some ads, do different things, just like a business is. That's very, very important to remember, and it's very, very important. Actually, I've read an article that says 90% of businesses fail because they don't think, and I'm talking about digital businesses in this case, because they don't think a digital business is a real business, right? So you kind of ask a guy, how much have you invested in this business? And he says, well, I'm not sure, right? I'm not sure. And if you look at those answers, that person is actually trying to tell you that they haven't been running a real business, right? Because business is about the numbers, like we will see. Or tip number 2 is set goals, right? That's very important. Set goals. Now, if you don't know about goal setting, head over to my website and download a free 7-step goal setting guide. It's completely free. You don't have to enter your email anywhere. It's totally free, right? But goals, as much as they will change your life personally, remember, a business is a living, breathing organism, right? It's just like you. It relies on goals as well. So set some goals, right? Have a vision. Where do you see your business a year from now, maybe even 6 months from now? Where do you want to be? Have those kind of targets, and you will be amazed how it will change everything. It will change the way you work. It will change your relationships. It will change the kind of partnerships that you form. It's very, very important. And then tip number 3 is really, really important. Have a solid plan, right? Have a solid plan and have it really, really good. That's very, very important. I've talked about goal setting, but after you've set goals, have a plan, right? So what's your plan to achieving those goals that you have set? These things sound really simple, and they are, but they will help you to stand out if you're really, really looking for great success. I could stand here and share with you, tips on value proposition and all those kind of things. They're all over the internet, but I would tell you the things that really, really, really matter, nobody's talking about, Nobody's reminding you that an online business is actually a real business. Yes, they tell you it's a business, but it's real. It's more real. I listened to a song and it says, this is live, right? This is live. It's live. Remember, whatever you do, you are live on the scene. It's just like being on the stage. Have you been to a stage to speak? That feeling, oh, there's people now, so I can't say whatever I want to say. I can't do whatever I want to do up here. I've got to be selective in doing what I want to do. And it's the same thing. You're on stage right now, running your own business, and hey, you can't do things the way you want, right? Let's move on to tip number 4, which is watch the numbers, right? And one thing you must remember is business, any sort of business or any form of growth takes numbers. How do you grow without, numbers? You can't. So growth is defined as moving from one point to a higher point. And the same applies for business. So you got to watch the numbers if you're really, really looking to grow your digital business. When it comes to numbers, watching the metrics, and remember, you've probably heard about this saying, anything that you actually watch grows, including your problems. If you watch them for long enough, they will grow, right? Your worries, you watch them long enough, they will grow. And I was listening to a talk just this afternoon while I was driving back home, and the guy was sharing, he mentioned about the fact that a lot of times, if you don't focus on your issues and you're so busy with your work, these issues will actually disappear. They will seem insignificant. It's just like the story Probably you've heard of a story. This story is very popular. A story of two wolves, right? And a man asked his master, there is two wolves, right? One is this, and then the other one is this. Which one do you think will win, right? And the master said, the one that you feed, right? I can't remember the exact story, the exact words the way they were, but it was along those lines. And you most probably heard about this. He said, the one that you feed is the one that will grow. So the one that you pay attention to is the one that actually grows. So it's a numbers game. Remember, it's a numbers game, right? If you can reach one client, then you can reach 1 times 10, right? And that's very important. So your focus when getting started, or when in a place of, you want to move from one place to another, should be, how do I get one client? Don't start at how do I get 1,000 clients like that guy over there on the internet. It should be, how do I win one client, right? And when you find out, or one follower, it could be your Instagram account, or one, whatever it is that you really want to grow at. And when you start like that, you get a strategy. You're able to see a way, to observe, of course, the way you got that one client. And now you can, ramp up those numbers. And it's very easy, right? And I remember I was listening to another talk. I listened to quite a lot of, podcasts and all those kind of things. And one of the guys who was sharing, he said, he used to go from house to house and knocking on the doors, trying to sell, right? Trying to sell insurance. And he said, when he got one customer, it took him about 30 days, right? And then he decided, how about I knock on 10 times the doors that I knocked on, right, in those 30 days. So he he put in more effort, right? So most probably if he had knocked on, let's say, 30 doors that month, which means he went to one household every day, right? This time he did 10 times. So he went to 10 houses for those 30 days. And he said, actually, he was really surprised that at the end of the month, he had 3 more clients than he had. Now, you can argue about the fact that, well, he worked extra hard and we don't need to work that hard. You're right. But numbers don't lie, remember. He eventually got the 3, right? And of course, going forward, it became easier because, he realized that there was a relationship in the way he won the different clients, and then he applied that to make his life very easy, right? So it's a numbers game, right? So pay attention to the numbers. Have some numbers that you pay attention to. Don't just sit around and say, well, I just want to grow my business. So what are your numbers? What do you want? Where are you coming from and where are you going? And that should come off your head, even when you've just been walking up, right? Randomly. It should come off your head. You should know your numbers, because eventually that's what the universe uses to guide you. And the last tip that I'm going to share with you today, and I hope these have been really helpful, leave me a comment down in the description below. Let me know if these are really helpful. The last tip that I will share with you today is test, right? Testing is very important. Test. Don't just sit over there and say, well, I tried this and it didn't work. I did this and it didn't work. Test, right? If it doesn't work, go around it. It's just like ants, right? When I try to get into maybe a container that's got some food, they will try the other way. They will roll it over. They will try on top of it. They will try underneath. They will try until they get in. They are not quitting, right? So that's very important to remember. Test different things, try, if let's say you go to you go knocking on the doors like that guy I described in the previous point, they didn't respond during the day, go in the night. I know that sounds crazy, but hey, who cares what you do to get your numbers up, right? So test different things, test, different countries, test your idea in different audiences, test. And remember, that whatever you look for, you actually find eventually. So what are you looking for? That's very important. So when testing, you're obviously looking for something. So thank you very much, and I hope that was really insightful, and let me know what you think. Let me know other things that you think are really worth other tips that you think are really amazing when it comes to starting your own business, right? Your own digital business. And hey, make sure you hit the notifications bell, as well as over the next few days, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can actually start your digital business. I'm talking about the how, basically the simple way, the easy way, and the rock solid way to actually do it. I'm talking about the how, the technical stuff, right? So thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.